Hi guys, it's reaction time. Dokken and Gypsy. It's a Dokken classic rock band. Been a fan for many years actually. Especially my favourite album, Under Lock and Key, without a doubt. I know a lot of people's album is Back for the Attack. That's what they like the most. I'm a Under Lock and Key fan without a doubt. Production wise, songwriting wise, I think they was at their peak. That album was a huge part of me growing up. So it was great to hear they're back. And it was a bit of a, until the last song, the first song that came out, which was Fugitive, how long ago now? Maybe a month and a half ago, maybe a little bit less. Until that came out, it was a bit of an unknown, innit? What sort of Dokken are we going to get? We obviously, Don's had problems with his vocals. We all know about that. We've seen loads of videos online. There's no lack of them if you want to capture the live performance of Don and his vocals. We know he's had a lot of health problems. So, you know what? It's a bit of a, you either don't get any music from Dokken anymore, or you do. There are some people that have it, is it Dokken anymore because it's only got Don Dokken in the band? A lot can be said for a lot of bands that are going now, but some of these members have been in these bands a long time now, so the argument could be had that John Levin's been in the band a long time. He is Dokken now, not the original Dokken, but does it really matter that much? There's an argument to be had both ways, I suppose. But what I was really excited about hearing on Fugitive was the sound of Dokken. That was what I really wanted to hear. We could have got anything on that first single, and it was great. I think it was great for what it was. Don is obviously, in the studio, the vocals being, a lower range because they have to be. So, it sounds like they're writing songs around Don as well. His voice is obviously lowering the tone of his voice. So, that's a given. That's going to happen because, it's nice to hear that they didn't do loads of trickery in the studio and have Don singing an AI version of himself and singing like he did in Under Lock and Key or Back for the Attack. So, he's it's almost like he knows his limitations. And that's what we heard in the first single. A lot of people had a lot to say under my reaction of the last single. Most of it was positive. There was a few people that was like, Don's got to give up, that's it, and all that. But fair enough, you can have your own opinion, but you don't have to listen either, do you? You don't have to buy the new Dokken album. You don't have to listen to any of the new songs. If you think that's the facts, don't. If you do, if you want to listen to them, listen to them. Simple as that. So we're on to the second song. Obviously, Heaven Comes Down is coming out on the 27th of October. I did say in my last video, in the Fugitive one, there's a lot of bands take inspiration. I find myself finding more and more bands now, new bands, using riffs that sound very Dokken-esque. Even vocalists that are trying to sort of sound like Don in his prime. That's a cool thing. It shows you how much influence they've had on bands now, so this is the next song. I'm really intrigued as well to see if this is going to sound like classic Dokken as well. Are they going to carry it on? It could have been just a one-off with Fugitive, you don't know what you're going to get really. But I know I'm excited about hearing it. It just came out today. I'm always excited about hearing new Dokken. It doesn't come around often enough either. So without further ado, this is Dokken and this is Gypsy. Here we go.
Gypsy told me as we looked into the flames, and then she showed me as she looked upon my face. She told me stories as we sat under the stars, and then she waved her hands and I was in her arms. In her arms. Gypsy, won't you tell me what you know? you know. You know I've lost my way, got no place to go. Stars and counted one by one, and then the morning came and there was only one. You know I had to go before the heat of day. She waved her hands above and I was on my way. On my way. Won't you tell me what you know? You know I've lost my way, got no place to go. Gypsy, won't you tell me what you know? You know I've lost my way, got no place to.
Well, it has basically carried on from Fugitive. We've got a classic sort of Dokken riff at the beginning of the song and then leading into each verse. The band are definitely, you know, harking back to that classic Dokken sound again, which I love. I think at this stage in their career, this could be the last album. Wouldn't it be cool to go out on a classic Dokken sounding album? Because it could have been different, but it's not. This is a really cool sort of upbeat song. Faster than Fugitive, but it's still got that real Dokken feel. I mean, it's unmistakable, you know. And like I said, there's a lot of bands that are trying to sort of emulate that sort of sound now with those classic sort of minor key riffs. Dokken are just great at it, aren't they? And really, this just sounds like something that could be pulled off of the, you know, Up From the Ashes solo album, or even the Lightning Strikes album, Lightning Strikes Again album that Dokken brought out a few years ago. Definitely going for that sound, and I think that's just a really cool thing to do. Like I said, they could have really experimented and go off on a tangent and done some sort of alternative metal album, which they've sort of attempted before. But no, they've given us classic Dokken. So surely the you know, the Dokken fans of old, like me, will be happy. It might not be the album of the year, but it's given us Dokken feels, and that's what you want, isn't it? You want Dokken feels. And the thing that's really given me them Dokken feels are the John Levin riffs. You know, they just, it's just classic fucking Dokken. I love the rhythm section. I think it just sounds really tight. Chris McCarville on the bass and AJ Zampa on the drums. They just sound a really tight unit. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and with Dokken, you just want it. You want a sort of just a powerhouse rumbling bass, and you want some really tight drums. That's what you want. And then you want John Levin just to have room to breathe, with just like flow on that guitar, and he sounds fucking great. I love the little lead breaks he does out of the verses, you know, out of the chorus, sorry. I love that, him leading off, not just waiting for the solo to come, and then there's loads of soloing going on, and he sounds fantastic, John Levin, man. He really fucking does it. It sounds really intricate, it sounds clever, it sounds melodic. I love his playing. I loved him on Fugitive and I love him on this. I think he's doing a great job in Dokken, man. Fantastic song. It's got a real catchy feel to it, and what more do you want? Dokken have always been catchy, and they've always been like an earworm, especially guitar riffs. One of the bands really that you could literally, you know, especially on the Under Lock and Key album for me, I could literally hum every guitar riff and solo because it's that catchy. It's almost like a song in itself, the guitar solos, and I think John Levin's got that in him. He's got real melody in his playing, and I think the tone of his guitar, and he's giving everything, for me anyway, I'm a Dokken fan, he's giving me everything I want. So a great job by all the band for sure. Of course, Don's vocals at that lower level again, didn't expect any more. I sort of feel that if they were any different, I'd feel a bit cheated. You know, hearing him live, you want him to sing at that lower level because you know he can't really sing at the higher level. So stick to that lower level. Just make sure the songs are good. And I think that's what's happened here again. Absolutely brilliant. I love it. Here we go for the rest, guys. Really looking forward to the solo. I'm really going to try and listen intently to the solo as well. Give you some feedback on that. But here we go for the rest.
No place to go. Raise yourselves. Search for your horizon before the darkness comes. Place to go.
Very cool, man. Love, the solo was just brilliant. I'd have to listen to it a few more times to get used to the melody, but you could just hear the, you know, the clever, intricate playing of John Levin, but always thinking of melody. You know what I mean? Especially when it died down into the bit just before it went back into the song proper, you can hear like the beautiful little guitar melodies he's playing, and you know, just amazing stuff. Just a faultless guitar solo. That was amazing. Really looked like cool sort of backing vocals used in this. It sounds like Don's doing the backing vocals as well. There might be someone else doing a higher key, but he's almost like talking the chorus behind the singing of the chorus as well. And it sounds fucking good, man. I mean, listen, Don is not what he used to be. If we're expecting him to be like he used to be, forget about it. I just think that he's really been clever with these two songs, because he's thinking, right, what got Dokken as big as they were? Who remembers? The only Dokken that people really want to think about, isn't it, is that under lock and key of Back for the Attack era, really. They've sort of, you know, they've touched upon that again, like I said, probably with Lightning Strikes Again. That album was, you know, really showing some classic Dokken influence there. Not influence, because they are Dokken, you know, classic Dokken vibes. And I think they've done it again, especially with these two songs. I'm hoping that the rest of it is like that. There was a little bit of a switch around, a little bit of a different feel there. There's like a middle-eight bit before the solo. Almost, I'm not saying it was alternative, but it almost showed a little different side. Not quite classic Dokken, maybe some other eras of Dokken, but it was only a little bit. It was just a middle-eight, just a little pre-solo part. But in general, the whole song had that classic Dokken feel, which that's all I want. You know, if it's going to be the last album, let's have something that sounds like classic Dokken that we all love. Simple as that. So the album Heaven Comes Down is coming out on the 27th of October. Not that long now, just over a month, so that's pretty cool. Guys, what do you think of that? That's the second single. That was Gypsy. Let me know in the comments below. Did you like that one? I thought it was fucking cool. And I'll see you soon.